Tell me about the state of Florida and football in the state of Florida. Why? Because it was a time where the state of Florida dominated college football. Dominated.
Oh, I mean, it's Florida State. Yeah, it's Florida State.
Well,
Florida.
I think
But that ain't. We don't have that no more.
Well,
What is it going to take for the
different
kids
now.
to stay home? We used to have the kids staying home.
that's what I was about to say. It's right now there is so many opportunities, other places. You got to remember, like, if you went to Florida State, Florida, or Florida State, Florida State, Miami, you didn't play as a freshman. You were actually sitting behind
pros,
all Americans.
Hell yeah.
I remember at one point we had Corey Simon, who wasn't a starter, but he was an All-American.
That's crazy.
So like, and Coach Bowden used to tell us, don't get hurt. Because you might not,
you ain't get
might
that
not
job
see the
back.
field again.
He ain't lying.
That was legit. Like, you got to remember, like, everybody at every position was either a 5-star or 4-star. So you talking about coming in as being the man, everybody else was the man too.
You ain't lying.
That's crazy.
So you had to wait your turn. You got to, Charlie Ward played as a junior. You know what he did his first 2 years? Punt it.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
He punted.
You bull.
No, look it up.
Charlie Ward was punting?
Charlie Ward
Man,
punted.
ain't nobody know that. You heard it here on OGs, man. Charlie Ward punted?
Charlie
I did
Ward
not know that, dog.
punted his first 2 years at
That's
Florida State.
crazy.
Was he any good at punting?
I thought I knew everything.
Bro,
Was he any good at punting?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Man, you damn
punted.
right he was. Charlie Ward could do everything.
and then
I
won the
guess.
Heisman as a
I know,
quarterback.
it's
That's
But he
crazy.
had to wait, though. But that's what I'm saying. Like, at that time, going to Florida State, Miami, or Florida, you got to wait your turn.
So maybe
Like, it wasn't, I'm going in here and I'm playing as a true
right.
freshman. That ain't, no. Because you got an All-American in front. You got 3 All-Americans in front of you.
Did your family have any influence on where you went?
Nah.
It was all up to you. Your pops said, I
It was
trust
up to me. My dad went to Georgia Tech. I got recruited at Georgia Tech to play quarterback. My mom, Miami Hurricane fan,
you. Yeah, okay.
and she was like, you know, I would love for you to go to Miami, but it's your decision. And actually, I had the best opportunity to start at Miami early. So when I was recruited at Miami, they told me if I committed, they wouldn't recruit any more quarterbacks. And then they had
That's Randy Shannon?
it was what's the guy name? He ended up coaching at Cleveland too. Cleveland Browns.
I know
I
you're
can't
talking
even
about.
get over this. Keep saying recruiting as a quarterback.
Yeah, I know
Doesn't
you're
make
talking
any sense
about.
to me.
Yeah, but so the quarterback at Miami at the time, he was playing baseball. And he wasn't there in the spring. He would go play professional baseball. So they wanted me to graduate early in January and come compete for the starting job in the spring because the starting quarterback wasn't there. Kenny Kelly.
Kenny Kelly, okay.
Went to Tampa Catholic.
Yeah, I remember Kenny Kelly.
Yeah, so he played professional baseball. So they was like, you have a real opportunity to come and compete right away. You got all your credits, you know what I'm saying? Only thing you got to do, just, you know, finish up what you got to do come in January. And I thought about it, but for me, Miami was too close to home. Like, I wanted to get away from home a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Not too far, but get away from home. And
I get it.
Miami was right up the road. So that's probably the reason why I didn't go to Miami.
So you went to 3 visits or more.
I had
Florida
more.
State, Florida, Miami.
So I actually started getting recruited by Ohio. Ohio State was the first school to recruit me.
Yeah.
After my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I started getting letters from Ohio State. And then I started getting recruited by Notre Dame. And then the Florida schools started coming after that. Florida State, Miami, obviously.
Yes.
And then all the other schools after that. But Ohio State was the first school to recruit me.
So let's talk about your visit to Florida.
Why don't we?
Since Mike want to bring that up. Let's talk
Why-
about your
why
visit
don't
to Florida,
we?
Since Mike
Why
want to
don't
bring
we?
that up, yes.
Why don't
so,
we?
you know, me and Anquan go way back. we go way back. We actually work out at the same gym now. You're welcome to join us if you
I will. I'll
ever
be right
want to
there.
get. If you
Just
ever
wait
want
for
to
me.
put them beers down
Yeah.
and show up, we can get
Just
it
wait
workout
for
in.
me.
So when you took your visit to Florida, just go ahead and run through the story. Because Mike want to tell people that I'm the reason why you ain't come to Florida. I don't believe I'm the reason why you ain't come to Florida.
Sounds like it to me.
No, I don't believe I'm the
Well,
reason
the
why
reason I didn't come to Florida is because Spurrier. Like, I just didn't trust Spurrier.
Ain't nothing
And I remember on my visit, being in his office and like, dude could not look me in my eye. And the whole time I'm in his office, he has a putter.
He's not putting.
No, he ain't playing. No, he ain't sitting playing.
down.
He ain't playing putt while he trying to recruit you.
Dude is in his office, he's putting. And as he's putting, he was like, they say I wouldn't play a black quarterback.
Oh, Steve, damn.
They don't know I had a black quarterback at Duke. I'm like, bro, like,
You know what, Steve?
never
Show
looked
me
me
the
in
door.
my eye. Like, and I was like, yeah. I'm good.
I'm so happy you told this story
Hey, so
on
you
the
off the hook. You off the hook.
I'm so happy you told this story. I am off the hook. Man, listen, they go to a party, football players.
Yeah.
I'm at a party with basketball players.
Yeah.
Now, one of my teammates, God rest his soul, Major Parker, you know what I'm saying? His girlfriend at the time was at the football party.
Yeah.
He's at the football party, obviously. He's being recruited by the football players. She sit in one of the football dudes' chair.
Yeah, it was D-Jack.
She
Daryl
sit in-
Jackson.
sit in
So we
D-Jack.
were actually
D-Jack played in the league too for a little while.
D-Jack played at Seattle. I actually played against D-Jack, and so they both went to Tampa Catholic.
Yes.
D-Jack and Kenny Kelly. I played against them my sophomore year in high school. They were seniors, and I think D-Jack had just broke the national record like for receiving, and then Kenny Kelly was like the top quarterback.
I know D-Jack was nice. I didn't know he
he
broke
was
it. I didn't know he
nice,
broke
bro.
the record.
So
That's what's
I
up.
played against them my sophomore year. So we ended up beating them in the playoffs and knocking them out. So when I go to Florida on my visit,
He's your host, basically, then, huh?
yeah, so they were he was one of the hosts.
Yeah.
So we're at D-Jack's crib. So you know how like before you go out,
Yeah.
like dudes playing video
for sure,
games,
for
and
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Everybody over to the crib chilling. So D-Jack sitting down, he's playing the game, and he gets up to use the bathroom. And then this girl like sits in his seat. So when he comes back, he was like, yo, let me get my seat. So she was like, nah, like, he was like, what? Like, you in my crib?
At his
Like,
crib.
yeah, like, you in my crib? Like, so they started going back and forth. D-Jack ended up smacking the chick. So we didn't know that it was Major's girl who he smacked. So I guess she ended up leaving, her and her homegirls, they ended up leaving, and a little bit later, we go out.
Yeah.
So we go to this club, and like the basketball team's already at the spot.
Enter UD.
Yeah, so
D ain't
we
had nothing
come
to do
in,
with
and
this
we
now.
not even 10 minutes in the club, football team and the basketball team start fighting. And we recruits, we like, man, what's going on? Like, bro, they tripping. Like,
Man,
so they clear the whole club out. We outside just chilling, like, man, what just happened? Like, so
man, listen. She calls Major, crying, hysterical. You know, automatically when your woman call hysterical, you already on. I gotta protect my woman mode. So he already in protect his woman mode. So she give him the story. So we get to the club that night, and I already know what time it is. It's 130 of them. We
deep.
ain't got but 12 of us.
was
So
deep.
we got to be efficient. So they approached us and they going back and forth. So I'm standing there with Major, and you know D-Jack come up, and he got Kenyatta Walker. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Kenyatta. Ain't no more beef. That's over with. We was kids. So he feel like with Kenyatta, man. So they going back and forth. Major going back and forth with D-Jack, and then Kenyatta talking, and then me and Kenyatta start having some words. But immediately I'm looking at how many they got, and I'm looking at how many we got. And I'm saying the math ain't mathing. Now I ain't go to school for much, but I know how to count.
Yeah.
So I say we got to make the move if it's gonna happen, because if they jump on us first, we gonna get our asses whooped. So yeah, I was the first one to throw the punch, and it went on from there. And I ain't go to jail, and a couple people did. It's on them, but yeah, I threw the first punch. I admit that I did throw the first
I'm
punch.
surprised you didn't call the muscle in.
Who was the muscle?
Me? But what you talking about? Who?
Killer, you was in the gym. Killer, you was in the gym shooting.
We talking about
Killer,
who the
you was in
muscle?
the gym shooting. You was, and listen, it's funny that you said that, because Steve Spurrier called Billy Donovan and said, I don't care what you do, but keep him away from all my guys. I was starting to say, Spurrier, I'll whoop your ass too.
Okay, so we got it out. By the way, Spurrier let you off the hook because I'd love to see him in a Gator uniform.
I would have loved to see him in a Gator uniform too. Listen, I didn't know that was going. Well, the man was putting, saying he ain't never recruited a black quarterback. That's what blew it.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't nobody asked you to go down that Glory Road hole. Ain't nobody asked you that. Ain't nobody asked you that, Steve. That's where you blew it at. Listen, anytime you invite a black person over and they say I don't invite black people over, but that lets us know right there, you ain't used to having black people over, Steve. Like, that's where he blew it at. It had nothing to do with me at all. It was when you said that. You never told me that when you invited me to your house in South Dakota.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I had another black guy here a week ago, so you ain't the only one. I would have never with you again. That would have been the beginning and the end of me and your relationship. And I would have never been back to South Dakota. That's crazy as hell to say something like that.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where people don't know. That's kind of rude.
Hey,
Until you tell them that shit is rude. That was rude.
Who'd I have over last week?
Hey, I had another black guy over last week, Killer, so you ain't the first one. Just know I like black people. Get the fuck out of here. You can't say that. You can't say that. Good thing that happened back in like the 2000s early, because if you say that shit right now today, your ass is canceled.
It's over.
Yeah, your ass is canceled. You can't say that.
Yeah, he'd be punted home.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous, man. So now you get drafted, second round. That shit had a chip on your shoulder, because I know me being undrafted, I still got a chip today. I still know who got drafted and when I didn't. Tell me about that, how that felt.
I felt like I thought it was disrespectful. I mean, everybody think they're supposed to get drafted high. And I remember like going to the combine, and then you have like your meetings with different teams or whatever. And I remember being in I actually went in a meeting with Detroit, and the GM at the time, he asked me, he said, "We have Charles Rogers and we have you." He said, why would we draft you before we drafted Charles?
Charles Rogers from Michigan State?
Yeah, receiver.
God rest his soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, like, not being cocky or anything, I said, I'm just better.
That's right. Stand on it.
Like, I ain't,
that.
no disrespect to him or whatever.
No,
he's a great talent, but I'm just better. So he was like, you really think that, huh? I was like, of course. Fast forward, they drafted Charles Rogers, I think with like the number 2 pick. And I got drafted by Arizona with the 54th pick. And here's the crazy part. So, like, I got drafted by Arizona, but I was actually the 3rd pick for Arizona.
What?
Oh, wow.
Arizona had the 16th and the 17th pick.
Who did that?
Or the 17th and the 18th. So they picked a receiver, Brian Johnson, with the 17th pick out of Penn State, and they picked Calvin Pace, a DN
Calvin Pace
from Wake Forest.
Yes.
And I knew Calvin, you know what I'm saying? Because we played against each other. Florida State, Wake Forest, same, ACC or whatever. So I'm coming to camp with a chip. Like, they really don't know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we go into training camp, and obviously as a rookie, you start at the bottom, but like, we had mini camps. And I remember going back home, and I told my cousin, I was like, man, I'm gonna be starting. Like, when we start the fall, he was like, man, whatever. He was like, this the league. This ain't college. Yeah. I was like, all right, bet. So we get to preseason, and I remember my coach, like, I'm going with the starters in practice. Yeah. But when we get to like the game, like, he's not letting me play. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, and I said something to him. So I'm like, Coach, it was Coach Macklin.
Well, you don't play that shit. You go say what you got to say to the guy.
Yeah, I'm like, Coach, man, like, what's going on? Like, I'm running with the ones and stuff in practice, you know what I'm saying? But like, we get to preseason, like, I ain't getting no burn. Like, what's good? He was like, just be patient, I got you. So I'm like, it ain't registering to me.
Yeah. During this, the kid, the wide receiver was picked 16. Was he playing the preseason games?
Yeah, BJ was playing because he was a first round pick. So like, obviously as a GM,
you're gonna get thrown in the mix early.
You're gonna have every opportunity to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was just curious because
so yeah, he was actually getting burns. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just, waiting it out or whatever. So, only thing they really had me doing that preseason was returning punts. So I'm returning punts, making plays, but still I'm like, man, I ain't really getting burns like that. So I didn't really play that much in the preseason. Come the first game, we played Detroit.
Guess how many yards he had? 217 of them.
So we played.
I bet you PJ had that.
Was that to ask you why should he draft you?
Look.
I bet you Charles didn't have that.
We played Detroit the first game, and like he said, I had 10 catches, 217 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Golly, man.
And the GM from Detroit, he came up to me after the game. He said, "You weren't playing."
I respect that. I
respect that too.
I respect that.
I said,
respect that too.
I told you.
Yeah.
I respect that too.
And then my head coach, he came to me after the game. He was like, "I told you I got you."
Damn.
He was like, "I didn't want to show everybody what we had in the preseason." So I was like, "Okay, cool." Like now it makes sense, but at the time I'm just like.
Here is a dirty little secret that insurance industry may want to keep under wraps. Insurance companies profit by holding on to your money for as long as possible. So after an accident, they might do whatever they can to delay or deny your claim. This way, they can keep those profits growing. Morgan & Morgan fights hard against these corporations to fight to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. When in court, the insurance companies want juries to think that at-fault driver is the one paying the verdict amount. Meanwhile, it's really the insurance companies who are covering the cost. When Morgan & Morgan takes on a case, they're almost always going after the big insurance companies and not the individuals at fault. Morgan & Morgan fights hard for their clients, and these corporations know that. A recent client in Pennsylvania just received $29 million. That's $29 million. Insurer's best offer was $500,000. Another recent client in Florida received $20 million. Last offer, 0. There's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. Just visit forthepeople.com/OGs or dial #law 529. That's forthepeople.com/OGs or dial #law 529. This, my friends, is a paid advertisement. Fight fans, UFC 317 is almost here, and it's shaping up to be a can't-miss card. With high-stakes matchups and title implications online, every punch, kick, and takedown counts. There's no better way to get in the action than with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. No matter who you're backing in the octagon, now's the time to make your picks. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code OGs. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code OGs and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code OGs only at DraftKings Sportsbook.